Welcome to Tech Topics brought to you by Cybervenger. We help keep small businesses stay protected and compliant with cutting-edge cybersecurity and IT solutions.
Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Andy. I'm the Managing Consultant for Cybervenger. Today we're doing another deep dive into the 110 controls of the NIST 800-171 standard. This standard is used to guide people in protecting controlled unclassified information, and that's necessary whenever you do business with the Department of Defense or other federal departments. If you want to know more about the kind of opportunities that are available about being able to comply with the standard, check out our video on NIST 800-171. On today's control, if you look down here, our control was 3.14.5, and it says, perform periodic scans of organizational systems and real-time scans of files from external sources as files are downloaded, opened, or executed. And that second paragraph, it says periodic scans of organizational systems and real-time files from external sources can detect malicious code. Malicious code can be in different formats. It can have, steganography can be used to embed code in JPEGs or PDF files or other stuff. Just giving the short version of this thing. So basically, it's talking about antivirus, and it's hinting at EDR. So first, we'll start with antivirus, traditional antivirus. You would detect a virus one of two ways. You could scan the whole hard drive, the partitions and all that stuff, manually one section at a time, looking for stuff that looks bad, comparing it against your database, your signature database of known threats, and finding it that way. The problem, of course, is this, while it's very thorough, it's very time-consuming. It's very performance-invasive. It really slows the system down. I mean, I've seen computers be basically unusable during a full virus scan, but you still got to do them. This control requires you still do that method as well, in addition to the alternative, which is real-time scanning, where if you're downloading a file, it'll scan it while you're downloading. If you go to double-click it and launch the code, it'll scan it while it's launching. If you try to open a Word document, it'll scan that Word document while you're reading it. So or if you grab it and copy it, as you're accessing it anyway, you're already referencing the file, you're already talking that spot in the hard drive, why not scan it? That's much more efficient on system resources than if you're trying to scan the whole thing on a regular basis. But this control requires that you do both. And if you set your scanning schedule, it's not a big deal. It'll scan in the middle of the night, right? Now, what's nice about scanning is, if you use the analogy of a landmine, a landmine is a problem that hasn't happened yet. And if your system has a virus stored on its hard drive, that's a problem that hasn't necessarily happened yet. You're not infected. Just because you have a virus stored on your computer doesn't mean your computer is infected. When you're infected, the code, the instructions by the bad guy, are actually being followed and obeyed by your computer. That's what's so bad about it. Those instructions could be anything from send all my data to this random hacker out on the internet, to encrypt everything, to delete everything. We don't want the computer obeying somebody else's instructions. That's fundamentally a bad thing. But those instructions being on your computer aren't necessarily as bad a situation. So if you can catch it, catch it before you run it. It's a little bit like finding a landmine before you step on it. If you don't step on it, landmine's not a problem. You pick it off, you deactivate it, and get rid of it. Just why scanning ahead of time is good. But you might not always be able to do that. If you step on it and it begins to activate, it could do some damage. So you want to catch it in the middle of that to try and reduce the damage. It's better to stop it from blowing up in the first place than it is to have armor and defenses against what happens when it does blow up. But since that's going to happen anyway, you want both, right? You want to minimize the impact if it does happen and reduce the likelihood that it would happen. Those are the two time-honored methods, and this control says do both. This control also talks a little bit about some of the advanced things that can happen, like steganography, when you're embedding code into JPEGs and PDFs and things like that. All of this really calls out to EDR. Now, the standard for NIST, all the standards that they use, not just 800-171, tend to be very generic. They're trying not to play favorites in terms of vendors. They're trying not to tell you what technology to use. They're trying to stay out of it. There's some politics involved there. Okay, if they endorse a particular technology and if something becomes irrelevant, it might not be updated in the standard in time. The standards tend to go slower than the technology, right? They're trying to allude and point out to the requirements without telling you how to do it, which is what's confusing for people. Now me, I'm an IT professional. Telling you what you should be doing is exactly what our job is, right? So I would tell you, if you want to comply with 3.14.5, go get not only endpoint protection, and you can go get Sentinel-1, they're very affordable, or you can get Intercept X from Sophos. I like them too. There's also other ones that are very good, like Carbon Black and other vendors. But we tend to recommend Sophos Intercept X, partly because of the other thing you might want to consider getting is Managed Threat Response. Managed Threat Response, MTR, that is having a body of people monitoring your endpoint detection and response system. So you've got the tool and you got the people, right? You've got a nail gun, that's important to be able to put a roof on fast, and you've got your roofers to actually put the roof on. So the tools by themselves don't do much. I mean, they can do a lot, but they can't do everything. So if you really want to comply with all the controls of the NIST 800-171, it doesn't spell it out anywhere that I've seen. But really, if you read between the lines and the kind of things they're trying to accomplish, you really should have a managed threat response team. They've got their own security operations center that runs 24/7, that kind of thing. Now, you could do that in-house, hypothetically, but it's not practical for most organizations. So managed threat response vendor, at the very least EDR, those two go hand in hand. Managed threat response vendor would use some kind of EDR product to comply with both these controls and other controls in the NIST 800-171. That's all I got this week, guys. Thanks for watching. My name's Andy, and I hope to see you all in the next one.
Thanks for watching. We hope this video has provided valuable information to you. Be sure to share this video with other small business owners to spread the word about the importance of cybersecurity. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this. If you want more information about cybersecurity, visit us at www.cybervenger.com.